Back in my day, we used to gather by the hundreds and audition in hotel rooms for summer stock companies. But then the great coronavirus took it all away.
Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about cattle call auditions. So this is your SETC, NETC, A1, straw hats, all that good stuff. To give you some context, I have been to SETC, which is the Southeastern Theater Conference, 4 times. The first time I was in high school and I just went to the festival. And then the second time I was in college, and you have 2 auditions. You have your pre-screen, and then if you pass the pre-screen, you get to actually audition for the companies. So the second time I came to SETC, I got cut at the pre-screen. And then the third time I came to SETC, again, I was in college. I made it past the pre-screen, but I only got about 6 callbacks from the professional auditions. And then the last and final time that I went to SETC, I got a whopping 24 callbacks and multiple job offers. I had to turn some of them down because they overlapped. So, needless to say, I have built up some expertise on how to get in there and nail it and do what you set out to do. And I'm going to be sharing some of that knowledge with you all. All right, number 1 is to practice. Now, this may seem obvious, but for SETC, I know if you're only acting, you get 60 seconds to do a monologue. If you're auditioning for musical theater, you get 60 seconds monologue, and I believe like 30-second song. They don't time like your monologue and your song. Basically, you get 90 seconds total, which is nothing. It is so short. So really, I mean, they tell you this when you sign up, but really do it. Set a timer on your phone and run it over and over and over and over. Personally, I always like to have an extra 5 to 10 seconds of buffer. And I forgot to mention, this includes your slate too. So you get 90 seconds to slate, 16 bars, and do a monologue, which is freaking insane. You really have to practice so that you can get it clean, tight, and ready to go, because they will cut you off. They sit there with a timer, and the second you hit that 60 seconds or 90 seconds, they say time, and you have to get off the stage. So practice, practice, practice. Make sure you got your package down, and you want to make sure that you stay in your time, because in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I feel like going overtime, even if you're a great actor, it just looks really sloppy because they make the rules very clear ahead of time. So for you to go in there and go overtime, even though they told you time and time again to prepare within a parameter, it just looks like you didn't prepare, like you can't follow instruction. It doesn't look good. Another thing to think about is once you get going, you don't have time to start over or to calm your nerves. Let's say you had a 90-second package and you start over halfway through your monologue. Tough, honey. You got 45 seconds now to do your song monologue slate, so you cannot mess up. You have to be on it. You know, SETC, that stage should not be the first time that you run your package the whole way. The day before SETC should not be the first time that you run your whole package. You gotta be on it. Number 2 is to strategize. You have to know who you're auditioning for. This is a mistake that I made the first time that I auditioned and got cut at the pre-screen. I sang what I felt good with, and I did the monologue that I liked, but I didn't do the research on who I was auditioning for. So most of the companies that attend these cattle calls are your cruise ships, amusement parks, dinner theaters, and family/children's theaters. So that's your audience. And I know I sang Home from Phantom. I can't remember the monologue, but if you've never heard that song, it's like a super legit classical soprano song, and I sounded lovely, but I got cut because it wasn't relevant, you know? That's not what those companies were looking for. Go through, you can look up like all of the theaters that have attended these conventions in the past. So look them up, look up their previous season, look up their last 1 or 2 seasons to see like what their style is, what kind of rep they do or might be doing if they haven't announced their season. Look up the specific shows, look up the roles within those shows that you want and you think that you could fit. This will help you deliver a more precise, thoughtful, well-crafted audition, right? When you try to just do a general package, it looks like you just pick stuff out and you don't really know what you're doing. But when you have intention behind your pieces and you attach those specifics, your package overall just becomes more clear. And it's easier for the casting directors to look at you and say, okay, I see her in this show. I want to see her call back for this role. And that's your objective. So be very specific and strategic about choosing your audition pieces and who you want to get in with, which companies you want to work for. And this kind of blends into my next point. Number 3 is to pick your pieces wisely. As I have already stressed, you get 60 to 90 seconds tops. So you want songs and monologues that have a clear, defined character arc. It starts one place, you hit your climax, and then it resolves. You don't want to pick something with a lot of intense emotion, so like crying or extremely angry, stuff like that is very off-putting and you don't have enough time to build up to that. Another thing to be wary of is a lot of people will pick a song just for the money note. And it's very obvious when they do that because they go through their cut and it makes absolutely 0 sense except for that top note. And what happens is the audition just comes off as very generic and forgettable. You know, we're all talented. We can all sing a high C.
We all sing. Yeah.
We can all belt and hold that note just on and on and on. But what is the point? Like, what is your character? You can't just sing a song because it sounds good in your voice and that's it. It makes no sense and it doesn't show off your acting ability. So you want to try and find a marriage between the money note and the character. And sometimes that's hard to do, so if you can't, then always err on the side of character. Character. If you are a great actor, you can sell yourself even if you are singing an unimpressive song. So for the last time I auditioned for SETC and got all of those callbacks, I sang Waiting for Life. I think the highest note in that song is like an E5, and I added 1 riff, and that's it. And they loved it. You know, that song is not hard, but it got me a lot farther than some of those other girls who went in there and just sang, what is that song, like Gorgeous, I think, from the Apple Tree, where it's like the super high C, or whatever is like a super chessy belt song. Like, if you don't have a purpose for singing that other than sounding good, throw it away. There's too many songs out there. You can find a better piece. Number 4 is to look the part. Now, I know this is sexist. I know this is problematic. I hate it too. But that said, sometimes in this industry, you gotta play the game to change the game. SETC is an example of that. I haven't been to the other conventions, so I hope and pray that they are different. But if you are watching this video for SETC, I can tell you right now, you have to look a certain way. I know this for a fact because they give you score sheets after your pre-screen. And the very first year that I auditioned, I had on a little sundress. It was sleeveless, so I put on one of those like little shrug jackets. I had on some ballet flats and some skin tone tights because my legs get kind of splotchy. They ripped me to shreds.
Bitch, you look a mess, head to toe.
I think it was on a scale of like 0 to 4 or something like that. I got like 2s across the board on my outfit. I don't have those clothes anymore, but if I can post pictures that look kind of like what I was wearing, they hated it. They scored me so low on my outfit that it brought my whole score down. Because I got decent scores on my performance. Not great, but enough points that had I chosen a better outfit, I would have got in. My outfit was a huge reason that I didn't get in. So for women, I recommend that you wear a flattering dress. I said dress, not pants. I recommend that you wear a dress. Jewel tone is the obvious choice. But if you look good in another color, I do think that's one way that you can kind of stand out. I wore like 3/4 sleeve one year and they really liked it. You can wear short sleeve. Just be careful if you're wearing a tank or like a strappy that your décolleté and your like cleavage isn't out there, because they'll take off points for that as well. Again, this is problematic and sexist as hell, but I don't make the rules. And you want to also keep in mind your length. Sometimes you're on a raked stage, and even if the stage isn't raked, sometimes the stage is like up here and the judges are down here, so they're automatically gonna be looking up. So practice your pieces in front of a mirror and make sure when you move your arms that like the front doesn't hike up, or if you need to bend over, make sure you're not doing like a peekaboo. So check your length. Mid-thigh or knee length is usually pretty safe. A good site to find audition dresses is lulus.com. I love Lulus. It's not the cheapest, but it's not expensive, and it's good quality. It's really affordable in my opinion, really nice dresses, simple but chic and flattering and young. I really recommend them. As far as shoes, most of the girls wear character shoes, or you can also do a modest nude heel. So when I say modest, I mean like 2.5 inches tops. If you're short, you can probably get away with 3. For me, I'm tall, so 3 inches looks like a lot. And also I recommend wearing like stockings or pantyhose underneath. So neat styled hair. Most of the women with, I'm just gonna say it, most of the white girls wore blowouts. Or if they wore their hair straight, it was flat ironed and very neat straight. If it's curly, I know sometimes a frizz can be a bummer. Obviously, I understand that frizz life, so just make sure it's styled. And then the makeup is just very soft, pretty, kind of like what I'm wearing right now. I've just got a little bit on. Don't go full glamazon, because again, you're auditioning for dinner theaters, family theaters, children's theaters, like outdoor summer stock. It's just not the vibe. And then for men, obviously the rules are a lot less picky. All you have to do is wear a button-up with slacks or khakis, character shoes or loafers, and make sure your hair is neat. So run your fingers through it, get a touch up with the barber, and the men are good to go. Like I said, you can get rejected if you do not adhere to this. I hate it. I hate that it's like this. I'm just telling you the truth though. I'm just trying to help you. So now that we've talked about some of the road leading up to the audition stuff, I want to talk about the actual audition day. Number 5 is to be prepared for anything. It is a long day. OMG. I literally got up at like 6:30 the last time I went did not get home till midnight, and that is not an exaggeration. You will be there all day. So I recommend bringing a duffel bag or a big dance bag, backpack. Have some sort of bag with something to eat or drink. Have some healthy, energizing snacks. Pack your own lunch so you don't have to leave the campus or run and get like fast food. It's gonna be greasy and slow you down. Have something for your vocal health. So I like to bring a thermos with some tea, or usually there's a Starbucks around because it's in a hotel for the most part. So usually you can find a Starbucks or a cafe. Get some tea with honey, caffeine free. Have something to calm your nerves. So for me, that is headphones, and again, my herbal tea. I love either an Earl Grey or a chamomile tea, both of which you can get from Starbucks. My earbuds, could not live without them, because we're just gonna take a break. I just want you to hear what the warm-up room sounds like. So have something to help you block out the rest of the world. That's my advice. Bring a book as well, because it's a lot of hurry up and wait. You got to get there early in the morning, hurry up, and then you just sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait. And then you get the callbacks and you got to hurry up, and then you just sit there and wait and wait and wait. So have something to do that stimulates your mind and allows you to relax and kind of tune out from the environment, because if you let that outside environment get to you, you will fail. It's effing bananas. It is bananas. There's just so much going on, so you have to tune everything else out. I recommend having some backup tights or outfits just in case something happens, or you can bring like a stay-in pin, because you never freaking know. I have had an audition where I ripped my pantyhose on the way there, and I had to stop at CVS and like panic buy some more before I walked in. I have had an audition where I spilled something right before I got in and I had to change my outfit. So be ready for anything. Have some backup songs and pieces as well. Don't just bring your audition package in your binder. Especially for the callbacks, a lot of them will ask for something different. So have your entire book and have some extra monologues ready to go and some extra headshots as well. You do have to submit your headshot just to do the pre-screen, but most theaters will ask you for a hard copy if you're called back. You want to make sure that you have enough, because that will be their primary way of contacting you and whittling down their short list. And for me personally, I like to, even though like I know my monologues, I just like to have it printed out and keep it with me just in case those nerves get to me, just to like look over the actual words one more time. It's like a security blanket. Like even if I don't look at it, just knowing that I have my monologue somewhere helps me. But number 6 is being organized. Like I said, cattle calls are organized craziness. So you need to really keep track of yourself. And I know SETC in particular will give you a sheet for free where you can write down the theaters that called you back, and I think like what they want you to do, like whether they want you to dance, whether you need to leave them a headshot, like they break it down. And so you want to write down every role in theater that you want to book, like your wish list, but also write down every theater that actually calls you back, what they need from you, and what your response to them was. So did you accept the callback? Did you not? And what do you need to do for that callback? Also write down every job offer. So I know the SATC has a rule in place where no company is allowed to give you a job on the spot. Do not ever accept a job at a cattle call without weighing all of your options. Even if you get an offer for your dream role and you're like, no matter what else I get, I'm gonna take it, hold your horses. Just wait and see what else you get offered, because you might get more money doing something else, or you might get offered a role that's even better and you just didn't think you were gonna get it. Just don't make any rash decisions. Wait until all the offers are on the table to respond to anyone. I also recommend to write down the names of who you have callbacks with. Something that I and many other actors like to do is send thank you notes, and you can order these online, just little cards with your agency if you have one, your name, and your headshot, and you just thank them for their time. That's it. Keep it short, sweet, professional, and then you mail it off to the theater, but mail it to the specific person you audition for. Otherwise, it just looks like you're brown nosing, which you are, but I mean, like, just try to be smooth, you know? You gotta like slide in those DMs. Don't just like jump in the DMs. Pew. No one likes that. Like, make it personal. You know, people like when you take extra effort. Just write down their name and then you're good to go. All right, and that's pretty much it. If I were to condense it into like a few major points. One is be smart about what pieces you bring. 2 is to rehearse. And 3 is to be organized and have fun. I mean, there's so much going on. Like, on one hand, it's very hectic, but on the other hand, there are so many opportunities. There's usually like classes, or you can network. There's a lot of fun to be had. Like, definitely enjoy the experience. Once you have got your auditions done and your callbacks done, kick back, relax. You know, no matter what the outcome is, you did it. So pat yourself on the back just for making it past the pre-screen and giving it your all, and you're good to go, Chief. So that's my video on how to survive a cattle call audition. As usual, if you have any other questions or whatever, you can totally just like drop them in the comments. But yeah, see you next time.